Hello all.
Like much of the rest of the world, we are currently following the shelter-at-home orders for our area.
Fortunately, we here at GameNight had recorded a large number of videos prior to the current epidemic, so we will be able to continue showing these new episodes with you over the coming months. This is one of them.
So please, stay safe, stay at home, and enjoy this week's episode.
Tonight on Game Night, Sarah, Nikki, Nick, Lincoln, and myself, Dave, are going to play Detective Club, a game for 4 to 8 players, published by Blue Orange and designed by Oleksandr Nevskiy. So let's look for clues.
Hey Dave.
Hey Nick.
Will you teach us a game?
What game?
Detective Club.
Yes, I will teach you only that game, so I'm glad you asked. Detective Club, if you are familiar with these references, is sort of Dixit meets Fake Artist Goes to New York. And the way the game is played is we're going to have a hand of these. I'll show you a couple right here. We're going to have a hand of cards that will look familiar. And in a 5-player game, we're all going to be the start player twice. All right? I'm going to be the start player for the first round, so you can see sort of how it works. And what's going to happen is we'll all have a hand of 6 cards. And I'm going to look at my 6 cards and pick 2 of them. In this case, I have picked these 2. And then I'm going to think of a word that these 2 cards can describe. Okay?
Wow.
So I am then going to write that word down on all 4 of these little, they call them briefcases, little notepads or whatever. It's number of players minus 1. So what I'm going to do is, let me rephrase that. I'm going to write my word down on 3 of these. So I'm going to write word, no word. Then we're going to mix these up. And then you're all going to get one.
Okay.
So 3 of you will know my word, and 1 of you will not.
Okay.
All right? I am then going to take one of my cards and put it face up in the middle of
That
the table.
doesn't sound like Detective Club. That sounds like Misleader Club.
I'm going to play one of my cards, and then, clockwise around the table, you all have to put a card that you also think describes my word. So, and your first card's going here, so you might put this here, and Nikki, you might put that there.
On 1?
On 1, and Lincoln, you might put that there on 1, and Nick, you might put that there on 1. Once that happens, I will then add a second card. As will you. You'll add a second card and a second card. I don't have them out, for example. Second card, second card. Then I will tell you what the word is and why I chose my cards. In this case, my word was smoke. And that's because there's smoke coming out of that pipe, and there's sort of steam smoke coming out of that train. And now we go around the table, and you explain why you picked your 2 cards. You're like, well, I picked this one because the smoke coming out of the pipe, and whatever your second card is. And Nikki might say, well, I picked this one because I didn't have any cards that had smoke on them, but there was a fire in the fireplace, and that sort of indicates smoke.
Okay.
Lincoln will then do the same with his card. Nick will try to explain that one. And then once everyone's explained their cards, you 4, not me, not the active player, you 4 will then use your little magnifying glass to vote for who you think the conspirator is. That's what they call it in this game. The person that did not get the word. And you will do that by just putting your magnifying glass on the player that you think is the conspirator. You cannot vote for yourself. You obviously cannot vote for me. I don't vote. All right?
You should. It's your constitutional obligation.
Once that happens, we then score. For every player who correctly identified the conspirator, they get 3 points.
Ah.
Okay? If the conspirator has 0 or 1 markers on them, so in this case, that's all of you, then the conspirator would get 5 points, and me, the active player, I would get 4 points.
Okay.
Then we just do that again. We refill our hand back to 6.
So as the informer, you want the conspirator to actually get it correct.
Yeah, I guess
to succeed.
I guess that's
not
true.
Get it correct.
They score more than I do, but that is the way I score, I suppose.
Cool.
Well, here we go. Let's just try it. Give me these cards. Bring all these cards. We're not even using any of these. We're not using any of these.
Oh, there you
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what's nice about this deck? I don't have to worry about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just pulling 6 off the top. 6.
Oh my goodness.
1,
Oh
2,
my
3,
goodness.
4, 5, 6.
Look, it's good art.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh,
Oh my gosh.
almost a perfect pull. Almost a perfect pull. All right.
Interesting artwork.
Yeah, the artwork is what makes all these. Okay then.
This is a weird ring. Look at that gem on there. Pretty
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
I'd get caught on a lot of stuff.
Yeah. My own eyeballs.
You try to find something with it.
That's right. Divining ring.
Yeah.
No one told me there'd be spelling involved in this game.
Yeah.
And it's totally up to you. You just picked a word.
Yep. I just picked a word from 2 cards that I had in my hand that I liked.
And it's the same word
I'll
on
just do
3
it this
of
way.
those.
You guys just take one.
Okay. I'll just take what's close to me.
All right, here we go. That's my first card. I can already see the problem of like, well, I don't have any cards
Yeah, I
that
have
match.
like no good cards.
Well, that could be what makes the game fun.
So do we go in turn order?
Yes, you
Okay.
put one, then Nikki, then Lincoln.
Okay.
In the 1 slot.
Now I do.
Yep.
Nikki and I are on the same page here. I should rotate it for the camera and you folks.
Technically, yes.
You're
The
right.
cards.
Okay.
Well, the way the game plays is they want you to do it that way.
Sure, but we're, for the
But
audience
camera,
to
we're doing
enjoy
this
it.
way? Okay,
yes.
great. Here's my second card.
Here we go.
Your story will be interesting.
There.
All right. My word was vehicle. And I picked it for obviously the Volkswagen Bug here and this boat.
Okay, I didn't have a lot of good choices.
Okay.
But I also picked this boat to go with vehicle. And then I didn't really have a whole lot of other vehicles in my cards, but there's a plane in
Oh,
here,
wow.
and that's sort of
Yeah.
a vehicle. So I went with that.
Okay.
Harumph, I say.
What she said. Basically, boat because of vehicle. And then, again, I didn't have anything else that was a vehicle type thing, but this is silly. This one black key is on the river fall.
Okay.
So, like a boat floating off.
Sure.
All right.
Well, mine was to match the car. These are the headlights, right? And then this didn't even occur to me till later, but I'm like, oh, this guy's kind of like moving underneath the sea, so I treat it as the vehicle.
Okay.
My carriage as my vehicle, going off into the Alice in Wonderland type world we are seeing here, and then the balloons as like an air balloon is traveling. As
Okay.
the
All
best.
right.
I only had
Fair.
one good one, and the other ones are.
Yeah.
All right.
I had no vehicles, but...
Well, luckily I don't have to vote.
So now we're going to put our magnifying glass on who we think is the...
So it goes in
It's
clockwise
fair.
order. So it starts,
With Sarah?
yep,
Okay.
it goes around one
Okay.
at a time.
Cool, cool.
Oh.
I don't know. Everybody's got a vehicle, so...
Can you vote on yourself?
You cannot vote on yourself.
Okay.
Sarah. I'm voting for Sarah. You guys are correct.
Unfortunately, I thought it was you too, and I was hoping people didn't, right?
Right.
So,
But I did not have a vehicle at all, so...
so purple and orange get 3 points for correct
Yeah.
guesses.
Okay.
We get nothing because
Yeah,
you
and we're
had
gonna like
two
it.
and like it. All the magnifying glasses go back. All the cards come in. Everybody gets 2 more cards. The notebooks go to Sarah. Here's your little pencil.
Fan seal.
2 cards
Vehicular.
for you, Nikki. 2 cards for you. 2 cards for you, Sarah. Nick, did I give you 2 yet?
No.
And the notebooks go to Sarah. And we're on to round 2. The headlights was like, that seemed fishy. But it was a good story.
Do I
I
only-
really didn't have a vehicle, so...
Right.
How many cards do I
Wouldn't have made
get?
any
You should have
difference.
6.
I only have 2.
Well, you have 4 from where you started. Are these your cards?
Oh,
Sarah?
okay.
No, those are mine.
Did you
Okay.
turn all your
I
other-
turned them in.
Oh. Here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Luckily, it doesn't matter. I was surprised at how, not hard, but not easy it was to just, of my 6 cards even, find 2 that I liked that had like a nice word between them.
Oh, I'm supposed to look at the cards.
Yeah.
I just wrote down a random word.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
You're making it hard for yourself.
I need to not.
Now she's going to match the cards to her word.
If she can.
Actually,
If she can, go for
I
it.
think I can.
Maybe subconsciously she knew what she was
Yeah,
doing.
maybe so.
Well, you did see 4 of them.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna stick with it.
All right. She's bold.
I like it.
Yeah.
She's bold.
I think my reading glasses are only hurting me this time. I'll take that one.
Okay, and I lay out the first card, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. We're gonna do this one.
Hey,
It goes out in
watermelons
the
again.
Oh,
beginning
sorry, yeah.
Because you are not participating.
All right.
Fear me. I'm vicious.
And then the second one, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, what was your word?
My word was creature.
Okay. You explain your cards first.
Okay.
Oh, sure. So obviously there are creatures in my cards. I have these cute little sheep bouncing around in what appears to be watermelons.
Yep.
And then this crazy looking bee who's flying through this window where
So there's
there are
flying matches?
lit matches are flying through the
Just
window
throw
as
matches,
well.
Howard.
So they're obviously both creatures.
Okay.
So creature, so clearly dog, creature.
Yep.
And then if you look at this, here's it's in a mouth. This is a
Sure.
tongue. And the table and chairs are in this mouth.
All right.
So creature.
Well, clearly creature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of creatures
Yep.
and a monster creature.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And a rat and fish.
Wow.
Creature.
Wow.
Starts with you, Nikki.
That's not easy this time. I think I gotta go over here. Yeah, I know.
We did the turnip first. That was the only one I was like, maybe, but I go, it's still
I
kind of
don't
a
know.
creature.
Yeah, it is.
Only because he didn't do. Only because he didn't do this one first.
First,
Right. This
exactly.
was your first one.
Yeah.
I thought the creature of the turnip creature.
It felt like a reach.
Oh,
Go there.
oh no.
I think that's it.
And that's all,
We
right?
gotta
Yeah.
reveal.
Okay.
It's me.
Oh, okay.
I was like, it's one of you.
That's
So,
nuts.
I get 5. You get 4. Well, creature was. I mean, I just guessed on the first one, and then I just got lucky.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to have the cards to make that
Right.
work,
Yeah.
Right. And what was great was when you played this one, I knew I had a card that had watermelon on it, but I used it last round.
Right.
Oh, well, lucky you.
too. Right. That was a.
Not necessarily. All right. 2, 2, 2,
I don't want to be
2,
it.
2. You got to be it twice.
Scary.
I looked at my thing and it had a word on it, and I'm like, sweet, it's not me. And of course, that word was vehicle. I'm like, oh man, it's me.
Okay. Do I,
You write it on just 3. You can just use the
can
same
I
page.
crush it? Yeah.
Sure, cross it out.
My turnip was misunderstood.
It was.
If you'd gone second, you'd have been okay. I think you were hamstrung by the word, right? The fact that I had 2 cards with creatures on them meant it was
Oops.
gonna be,
Yeah.
it was gonna be tough to suss me out.
Why is there no eraser?
Just cross it out.
Because the erasers just get hard and they're crappy
Yeah,
anyway.
that's
Yeah, that's
Why
true.
bother? I'm sorry, Nikki P.
That's okay. Oh,
Remember, not on one of them. That'd
Yep.
be great if they all have.
I know, right?
No one's the traitor.
Wow.
Poor Nick. I was on. I'm like
I
that turnip.
thought the turnip was like
yeah.
creature, mythic monster. That could be cool.
It's good.
I know
it's,
how you
it's
think,
t-
so
totally
like
valid.
it's not him. He's not the traitor.
The informer, or no, the
The
conspirator.
The conspirator.
Right.
Pardon.
Respect.
here in the Detective Club.
That's right.
There are no traitors.
Detective
There are only
We're all
Club.
trying to be
conspirators.
new members. That's how they.
Ah, we're trying to join the detective club?
Yes, by proving our ability to
Look at me.
To suss out
interrogate
the clues.
witnesses, and
If it were me, I absolutely would have led with the
Yeah.
mice.
especially if you know the word. You knew the word, man.
Just looks so appealing.
So I mix these up, and so
Yeah,
I don't
determine.
even know who I hand it to.
Correct. In a weird way, it doesn't matter, right? Because she doesn't vote.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh no.
So I go first.
You play one card first, correct?
All right. Here you go.
All right.
Oh, so I'm leading, that's right.
Yep.
Okay. And my next card.
Nothing. This one.
I'm gonna be misunderstood again.
This is such a stretch.
Okay, conspirator.
Yes.
We'll get to you in a second. Nikki,
Yes,
go
sir.
ahead and explain your cards.
My word was boot. So this has got this boot in
Yep.
the foreground here.
Yep.
And then clear, I mean, this is so straightforward.
Yeah.
There's nothing
It's some really good cards for that one.
Yep.
hiding
Yeah.
about it.
Well, this guy's got 8 boots. And actually, this is my first card, which it has no boots. But I also have no boots, so.
All right.
I had no boots as well, but I thought, hey, wait, hold on. Apparel. I thought, hey, you know, apparel with
Maybe.
the hat.
I really wish I had something that was good.
Right.
There's nothing here.
Yeah, I didn't have any.
And I think Sarah was in the same kind of boat.
Yeah.
My guy's in a boat. Boot. I don't know if that's a boot, but at least it's a foot showing. And then I have to assume this guy in this suit is wearing boots of some sort under there.
Okay.
But that's probably true. He's in a
Yeah.
diving. They got weighted boots
Yeah.
in there, right? Because he really needs to
Yeah.
sink the bottom of that tub.
Boot was a hard word for sure.
So this guy, he's definitely
He has
got boots, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that's obvious. And then I didn't really have any other good cards for boots, but I thought, well, if you go to like a distant planet, you have to wear, you know, some kind of like outfit, and
Space
it comes
boots.
with boots.
All right.
So I was thinking like moon boots
All
kind
right.
of thing.
Space boots.
So
Wow. All right.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it starts with me.
Yep.
Shucks. I go. Dave's got boots on all of them.
I think it's you or him, to be honest with you. I don't know if that apparel was like a Hail Mary or not, but I'm going to go here.
Well, it's me. I have no boots.
Yeah, that was
So-
tough if you don't have boots.
Well, and you have to know, and I can't,
Right.
you know.
Well, maybe I was too specific.
No. Well, you get to be the guy this
You
time.
need to be, I guess. I don't know. You want me
I
to
don't know.
succeed. And it's funny, too, because both times I did not have anything that would be valid for that
Right.
at all. Like anything on my card. Like if I could match to anything, right?
Half the fun of this game, if you like the game at all, right, is going to be that. Is going to be how hamstrung do you get by the cards you have in your hand.
Yeah.
Sure.
I feel like it's really tough to be the person giving out the word just because you're trying to have the deceiver in the game not be caught,
Right.
but because you can't.
but you don't know what cards they
Exactly,
have
you
either.
don't-
Yeah,
Cards
how
have,
would
you
you
don't-
know?
yeah.
I mean,
Right.
you don't. The cards are all.
I wonder what it would play like if it was open hands.
That'd be scary. That's scary. Well, here's your first card.
All right. That was my first one. That's my best shot. Give me the best shot.
card is really great.
Yeah.
Here.
Okay, well, here's my second card.
Okay. Yeah. This is as close as I can get.
Okay, well, my word was pin. And as you can see, there's a needle here and a pin here. So they're both, it's very specific, but that was the only thing I could even
Yep.
tie together at all. I was looking for anything like, can I do plate? Can I do, but it was it.
So for my first one, pin as in the sewing of the animal, and then for my second one, pin as being like sharp, like the edges
Thorns.
of the thorns.
Yeah,
Because I had nothing for the second.
pointy.
Pointies.
Well, I have actually 2 pins right here being held by this button.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice.
Yeah,
I was like, why did he
it looks
put
like
that
streaks,
card?
right?
Yeah.
And then I didn't have a good pin for my second one, so I went with the zipper theme just to have this card flash back to the first one.
Sure. Says the, no, I'm just
I had to waste,
just
I
joking.
had to
I want
waste
you
2
to succeed.
zippers.
I'm
I
joking.
wanted to do zipper.
You pinned it on
I
the first
didn't
one.
see that, and I was like, what is he
What is
talking
he doing
about?
now? Well, maybe because you didn't know the word.
Perhaps. Well, I picked this card first because I felt like the branches of the tree kind of looked like pins, and it's cold, so. And then I picked this one here because of the tines of the fork looking like pins.
All right.
I didn't really have a lot of good things for this one.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't have pins, so this looks like a pin. I guess it's coming out of an apple, but I did not catch that when I laid down the card. I was thinking more like
I see
a
it
pin
now.
in there, because it gets pointy, sharp looking at the bottom. And then this, no pins, so I went for pin light because the fountain is
Ah.
so.
Wow. All right. I don't believe all 3 of you. This is going to be hard.
I know. I bet I know.
All right. See,
I know you.
I don't know, man.
I feel like yours is the sketchiest.
What?
Well, he led with that one.
You said the barbed wire was why you picked this card?
Or the thorns.
The thorns for the pin, like the sharp edges
Oh. Stuffed animals.
and the stuffed animals.
Yeah.
Gotta sew it together.
Nope. I'm going to go with you.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, whoa, hey,
Yeah, your
Me?
green one. Your
Yeah.
green one.
You're green.
green.
Oh,
there.
yeah, I'm green.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just move.
Trying to pin the blame on somebody else.
Yeah, and then I'm going over here.
So it was me. I
Yes!
had no idea what the word was.
So did you go cold, like
Yeah.
snow? Is
Yeah,
that
and I
what
thought
you
like
did?
there's a bird here and there's a bird
Nice.
here. And then when there was this one, I was like, oh, well, maybe it's something about like being like in the sky.
Well, look at this. When I saw that, I was like, wow, okay, maybe she knows what.
But
'cause
it
the
wasn't her
one-
first. I should have known.
Yeah.
You got it. Nikki, you got it.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Bring him in. Nikki. Lincoln. Nick. I was looking at those cards thinking, oh, am I going to do zipper when it gets around to me? And the answer is nope. Only card I had with pins on it.
All right. All right. Well, for my first one. It's a beaut.
The
That's
beauty.
very you. That's a very you card.
And carrots will rain down upon you.
Oh, I think this is yours, right?
Yes. No. Switch.
Thank you.
one. All right. So my word was fantasy. Fantasy being, you know, all the mystical stuff. So again, you know, bunnies fighting wars, and then little stories going on in the background with the octopus eating the
Yep.
ship. So those were my 2 cards for fantasy.
Right. Well,
Muddy the waters.
I got this guy right here going into this house, this crazy little tree house, and I see this little mouse and these little things as actually being inside that house. Mine tells a little story.
It is. Tie it in.
I think that this image is incredibly fantastical. So that one sort of speaks for itself. And then this one here, like, to me, this looks like some sort of, like, little nursery. Like, this is a crib, and there's, like, a little creature inside, and it's, like, a mobile or something like that that hangs over the top of it. That seems like a fantasy setting to me.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I've got like a castle in the snow. There's pillows raining down, but I was going for the castle thing. And then this, like, not Neptune, Poseidon and underwater and
That would also be Neptune.
sea.
Depending on which set of stuff you're looking at.
Yeah.
Okay, well, mine's going through the, you know, like into the magic coat, and then this was like basically, essentially, they're both Alice in Wonderland kind of thing I was going for.
All right. Well, Nick, this is a terrible word
Yeah.
because I have no idea who to pick.
No.
Yes.
They're all
that's
kind
my
of
plan.
fantasy.
Hopefully you picked the wrong one.
Oh,
Well,
they're super hard.
I'm gonna go here.
I think that Nikki's looks the least fantastical to me.
Fantasy, I think.
Okay.
I thought I nailed it.
Was it you?
No, it's not.
It's me.
Oh.
Yes!
Nice. Well, that's
I
a
thought
good
you
word.
nailed it with those too.
I
The same
totally
path over
thought.
and over again.
4.
And I feel like that's not, well, I mean, you can't do anything about it because it's random, but when it's always...
I've now had it 3
I had
times.
Yeah.
terrible
Wow, that's
cards.
crazy. Well, fantasy covers all the cards. All right, one more round.
Except my cards apparently.
2. I almost voted for you, Nikki.
I know
That was
they
truly a
were-
toss-up. Did I
They
give you
were
2?
terrible.
no.
Oof.
Let's see what I got now.
And I read the words?
No, I read the words. To make the
make the
whole
whole
world
world
sing.
sing.
We were there.
We
were all there.
Yeah, yeah,
Stuck in my head
Oh
now.
my gosh, Nick, you have like 1 billion points.
yeah.
You're
Yeah.
doing good.
Yeah, I'm
Those-
taking that wiffle ball bat and
those
swinging.
Children you hang out with all day, huh?
Yeah, them kids be rubbing off on me.
Harumph, you say?
Yeah. I'm having a hard time just finding something that matches my stuff.
It'd be nice if you didn't have to be specific.
Yeah.
I suppose if you get real creative, you could make something work, but then other people can't see it, maybe, right?
Right.
Well, I guess you
we
don't
will-
want the one, yeah.
We will talk about this for sure when we get to the end. Let's do this. Here we go. I love how this one is the one we've been avoiding the whole time. I'm going to give this one some love.
Well, when I did them, I just flipped over one at a time.
Right. All right.
Okay.
Here is my first one.
Oh, we're definitely doing this first.
Oh, I am not even ready yet. There we go.
So there we go.
And here is my second one.
Lincoln, yours reminds me of in the Doug Adams book, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, about the falling petunia. Oh, that's your second one?
Wow.
Yeah, this one. I'm going to do this one.
Ha!
These are terrible. All
Yeah,
right.
it's kind of rough picking.
Don't. All right. There.
I love some of these cards, I just want to say right now. My word was flight. Obviously for the bird here, and for the little butterflies here.
And I picked flight because of the birds and these little flying.
I was going to
creatures
say,
here.
if you are the conspirator, your ability to actually match both my cards in theme is astounding.
So I got the paper bird here
Yeah.
for flight. And then this, I kind of, well, the fish is,
All right.
right, he's underwater, but flight.
Yep.
He's
I
floating.
like that he's carrying a lantern.
Yes.
Yep.
I like that the flowers are flying, and
Yeah.
the hat was Jester's hat was flying above the throne.
Oh,
Oh.
I thought you picked like
I
the
thought you
flight
picked
of
flight for the stairs.
Yeah, me too.
Flight of stairs.
Yeah, that's good. I didn't think of that.
It's awesome though.
So for my first one, flight for the airplane, because we were on a plane today,
Yeah.
and then the giant view that you have out of airplane. Because I didn't really have a second card, so I was like, big open skies is what I had.
All right.
Oh, sorry, I have your green
Oh, and I
one.
have yours.
You'll need it now.
And I get to go first, right?
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like total BS to me. But I also don't like Lincoln's cards.
Oh, I love Lincoln's cards. I like all these actually.
I'm picking the same. No.
Oh, nobody believes you.
This is where I would have gone.
Dang it!
Is it you?
Yeah.
That's where
When you did the fruit, I was like, okay, he might have it. And then you started
one did-
explaining
yeah, this
things.
one
And
did.
I was
Yeah.
like,
I was like, I saw this. I was like, oh,
Three
man,
for
I
red.
have no idea where I'm going with this.
3 for purple, 3 for green. Oh, when you put that down, I was so hoping you were like,
Flight of
oh,
stairs.
please be flight of stairs. That was awesome, dude.
Oh, there was one card that could have saved me.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I had the flight stuff. This.
Yep.
I
I'm like,
really
well, they're
wonder
flying.
what it would be played like if our hands were open. So then you could kind of look at other people's cards and
Oof.
see like, well,
Wouldn't
you
that
could've
just
picked
slow everything down?
I'd probably,
Variance.
probably.
I would probably make it clear that they didn't know what was going on, right? If they had
Yeah.
an obvious
Yeah.
card visible,
Yeah.
because I mean that you it's tough. You need to have something working in your favor.
Right. Pencil. Notebooks.
I really like this card.
Oh, the new one you just got?
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to make this work.
And this is my last turn, so I'm going to pick my 2 favorite cards and try to find some way to make them go together.
I like that. It's amazing.
Okay.
I mean, in theory, there's an infinite amount of art you can do for stuff like this, but it's amazing considering Mysterium and Dixit and all these games that I'm looking at all these cards and they still all feel unique and different and cool.
I like that they're fantastical. I mean,
Yeah.
that fantasy word was not a good choice for this game.
Well, in a weird way, it was to score, right? I mean,
Right. But I mean, it's so. The problem is finding that thing that works for it, but because they're just great. I mean,
Yeah.
they're all like some bizarro fairy tale, you know. That's just really, really cool.
I don't know if this is an appropriate word or not. Like, it's not inappropriate. It just might not be, like, it might be a hyphenated word or 2
Yeah.
words or something like that, but
fine.
we'll go with it.
Fine.
Fine, whatever.
I'm actually surprised nobody did select me though,
That round?
because they were not great. They were okay. I mean, if I had thought of Flight of Stairs, I didn't.
I would have picked him. I wasn't
Yeah.
voting. And I
Right.
felt bad because I thought, I'm not going to score this round.
Right.
Okay, here's my first card.
Oh, they're playing Tetris there.
Yeah. With big cranes. This is like equal parts beauty and creepy.
Creepy.
I don't know
Yeah.
how they've managed that.
Yep.
Couple choices.
Okay. So my word was mid-air, and I chose that word because these pieces here are mid-air, and these birds are in mid-air. And really because I just wanted to find a word that would let me use both of those pictures.
Okay. Tree is floating midair, of course. And then I didn't have a good one, but I was thinking TV, airwaves, blah, blah, blah. So,
These birds are midair, and this is a very weak one, but the sand is falling down here midair.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, like my first one, the hot air balloon cupcake is in midair, and then with this one, there's like a little ladder that makes it feel like the whole cup is in midair because of the clouds and everything, like being kind of up.
All right. These were like literally my two best cards for this word. This has a balloon in the background, and this hook seems to be coming from nowhere.
I say.
is it me, Pip?
Yep.
You. You. Nah.
I think it's Nikki too.
Nah.
All right, who is it?
It's me.
I was gonna say, I think it's him.
Job, dude.
You
Nice
didn't
job.
cross this out, so I was like, but that was it the last time, so
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
going to use deduction skills here. And
Yeah. All right, so
Wow.
4 points for you, right?
That second one, I was
5 points for you.
on that second one, I was like, oh man, I don't know.
The second one,
Great, though.
the second
Yeah.
one was a little sketchy, but
Yeah.
I just felt,
Well, he led with his strong one.
yeah, right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I was like,
That was
this
a
had-
good. That was
I
really
thought
good.
this had
You did a good
bunch of-
job saying that you felt like the ladder meant that the cup was in midair.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
I should
Yep,
never
yep,
fallen for that.
Yep. Yep.
All right.
Well,
pass.
this one I was like,
Notebooks.
You said this, and I would have just said the eyes. That was why I was like,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
again, it's
I
me
was
not
just
saying
thinking the
flight.
trees floating.
No,
the
the-
tree
I was
is
thinking
floating.
that the tree wasn't rounded, so
Yeah.
therefore
Yeah,
it was
the
in
first
midair.
the first one felt sort of sketchy, but I liked your TV poll for the second one. It just I had to vote for somebody.
Doe.
Let's go
A
to Nikki.
deer. I don't want to do this part. Meh.
I'm looking at my cards, and all I've had this whole game are like things floating in the air, and I don't have any of those anymore. Luckily, that I saw that balloon in the background on that one.
Make sure I got
I
okay.
feel like this one is going to be particularly challenging.
Maybe not. Could be fun.
Could be meat cake.
Could be meat, could be cake.
Could be meat cake. All right.
I love you.
I have explanations for my cards.
Okay, all right. This is what I'm playing first.
Yeah, that's Doctor Strange.
Yeah, totally. Okay, next.
That's a good one.
So the word is beauty.
Oh.
Okay.
So there we go. Sculpture really is what I was thinking of, but then I'm like, well, you know, bathing and being clean can help out with that. And then this flower is actually holding a mirror and has a comb.
Oh,
so I
that's
was
fantastic.
like, beauty, yeah.
Well, I just went for what I thought was beautiful. These are both nice images. Nothing else specifically related to beauty on my cards.
Beauty is the eye of the beholder. So, it's a little bit of a stretch, but that was my first one. Then my second one was the guy kind of like modeling with rats and the gaslight look.
Well, my cards were pretty terrible, so I went with just the beauty of this thing in the middle of nowhere. And then I went with that same theme, this sort of long, tall, beautiful stuff.
Well, I went with this one first because I think it's a beautiful card. I think there's a lot of like just beauty happening here. And then I went with this one for a couple of reasons. I thought it was prettier than some of my other cards, but also like he's wearing a monocle, so beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Yep.
And then I thought like the shiny things, like sometimes birds are attracted to shiny things, so.
Shiny.
Boy, I'm glad I don't have to pick.
Yeah. Can I just vote for myself?
No.
Yeah, I'm not sure about yours.
Yeah, kind of with Nick too on that one. Okay.
I know him.
Man,
He was trying.
It could not have been more obviously me. That was like I felt like my face flush.
I have models over here, Sarah.
The only reason I thought it might be Lincoln instead of
Red.
you was because you were like, oh, that's the word. And I was like, well,
Yeah.
he wouldn't be surprised unless he's acting.
No,
Well, obviously I knew he wasn't because I knew it was
Yeah,
me.
that's true, I suppose.
And I had no idea what the word was, right? Clearly you can see I was going with a different concept. That did not work out. But in all fairness, I
These
don't
were
know.
terrible though. I mean, that's why I wanted
I
to
don't
vote
have
for myself.
I don't have a lot of beauty cards. I don't know what I would choose, but
I thought those were beauty.
I understand. You just have to have cards that you think
Oh,
are
yeah.
beauty in your hand.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
it's a little subjective. Right?
Yes.
well, that's
Because
part
you
of
put
the
out
game.
you put out that first, the red one, and I was like, well, I don't think that's very pretty, but he might.
Right.
So
Right.
Two.
I thought we were
When
done.
Nick, I'm like,
No, no.
oh man, I think I nailed this. And then when Nikki said the word, I'm like, I am dead. All right, I've got 2 players to figure out some story, and then even then, my story couldn't have been more lame. And stuff. I literally ended my thing with and
And
stuff.
stuff.
I thought, well, everyone just vote for me now.
Well, leave
sorry,
the one that has
and
but
red.
not the answer in front of Dave, and we'll know where
And
to
you'll
go.
know for sure.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I know what I want to do, and it's not here.
Aw.
Like I was hoping another card would come
Oh
out
yeah,
here.
right. But there was a certain amount of fun looking and going, okay.
I like trying to figure it out.
Like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so Nikki's got that. Nick can put that. And what was great was Lincoln's, in Lincoln's view, right, his notion of not having great cards makes it harder for me trying to figure out what's
Yeah,
the connection
yeah, that's
between
true, yeah.
Nikki's card and Lincoln's first card. And then, what the what, man?
I knew. When you laid down that first one, I was like, he knows what the word is. I could tell.
Seeing these cards now, I'm like, oh, wait a second.
First,
I might have been able
first
to
card.
use that.
First card.
Is that a boot?
Yes. But it's like eating the fishing line that the man is tossing. So it's like,
Boot fish.
The old bootfish trick. Oh, I like that one.
Okay. Well, my word is spooky. This is very spooky here. And if you notice there's a face, looking at a mirror, this would have been a beauty one here. But yeah, it's spooky looking candle.
Did you have
face.
that last time, or did
Yes!
You, oh, you didn't just get
I
it?
did not see the candle. Like, I just thought it was a disfigured candle.
Some
That's
of
a
these
face.
have like depth to them when
Yes.
you really look at them. It's very cool.
So, for my first one being spooky, that looks like the kid from It, and the spooky door, and all the creepy keys. And then there are flying bananas. I would freak out if I saw these spooky things. I didn't have too many spooky things for my cards.
All right. Well, I believe I have the classic haunted house on top of the hill with the cat and the ghosts and whatever. And then this is a evil tooth.
Yeah, it is a
Yeah.
tooth.
Celebrating
Oh,
its
it's a
freedom from your
tooth.
mouth. Yeah.
That's
From
Yeah.
your
I
mouth.
just thought it was like a weird vampire type creature.
I believe it's a tooth. It looks like he's actually reading a newspaper. Like it's just another day at Mr.
There's got
Tooth's
to be
house.
like some kind of joke to be made there, right? So at first glance, mine look kind of serene, but I don't. I think that this is creepy. If your footwear like came to life and had teeth, that would be really creepy. And then this is all like peaceful,
Yeah.
but then there's this snake that's like
Yeah.
popping out of the grass.
All right.
Yep.
Nikki?
So I just find both of these really creepy, weird. So it's like a scarecrow kind of thing with creepy eyes on the bucket with the mouth.
Bucket head.
And then this, I don't know what, this clown with the floating carrot and the bunnies like wishing for it.
Yep.
I don't know. It's just like
All I can
weird.
say is I'm glad I'm not choosing.
Yeah.
Overlord clown.
Here we go.
All right. Before I make my choice, I'd like to point out that both of you described your cards as creepy and not spooky. And I was hoping that when Nikki said her cards, she would say spooky, so I could vote for you specifically because you said creepy. But I think she just copied you.
didn't.
So I'm voting for you for not saying spooky.
Really?
I'm voting for Nick because what he said doesn't make any sense.
Well,
Yeah.
that looks like it.
The
Yeah, but
banana.
What do I
that
know?
wasn't the creepy part in it.
No.
The it thing was the creepy
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Well,
It was me. I picked these beautiful cards, and then you guys were like spooky, and I'm like,
yeah.
there's nothing spooky about it. And we have a snake, so I'm not at all spooked by snakes.
I was gonna go for the cards anyway, but when you said creepy instead of spooky, that was
Yeah,
someone
that
who
was a
didn't
tell.
see spooky on their book.
Yep, that was a tell for sure.
But then Nikki said it, and I'm like, oh man.
That was only my luck that she came after me and just picked up whatever I had said.
Yep,
That's
that's
actually
what I
an
figured.
interesting point to make at the end about the words that you say.
I think we're all just going for second place here.
Yep. Style points.
I already have my word.
He's got style.
He had it planned. He was saving those
Wow.
cards.
This would have been a better spooky card.
Your cards were fine.
No, I know they're fine. So I wonder if there's some strategy. Well, there's no strategy. It'd be fun if there was some strategy to play your weaker card first.
Yeah. The problem is there's no value in having someone vote for you.
I know, there should be, though.
Maybe.
Here we go.
Try a different pile this time.
I'm just going to keep on grabbing the one closest to me.
Here's your first one.
I'm not even ready yet.
For this. I guess. All right.
I'll do that one.
Man.
I've had this card since the beginning.
That's
of the game.
spooky. Why didn't you play that one?
Yeah.
She goes, I
I
didn't know the word.
know the word.
All right, so my word was knight.
Knigget.
Knight as in knight of the castle, king, crown,
Yep.
all that good stuff. And then obviously a sword, King Arthur, Knights of the Round Table.
Well,
It's a watery maiden hefting a scimitar. Right?
Scimitar. Yes.
this is literally the only card of my 6 cards that is not in the day. So I went for this as knight. And then this is the closest thing I get to maybe sort of dark and night and maybe the guy. I mean, it's lame. My cards were really terrible.
Okay, so I did this one first because there's this person right here, and I thought like maybe they could be a knight going. Don't laugh. I really had like I know it was knight,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
but I didn't have good cards, so I thought maybe
These
he's
were
like a
hard.
knight and he's standing on this cliff, like looking out over this land he's about to go into. And then I didn't have any like swords or anything like that, but I thought, well, there's a bunch
Daggers.
of swords in here, and maybe knights have swords. So
So this is chess pieces.
Yep.
So obviously there's a knight right over here on the side, but king, queen, and all the other guys
Nice.
too. So that's pretty straightforward. And then this, I was going more like knight as in hero. So this little mouse is a hero.
I thought it was a good idea to think about it like a hero.
Yeah, mine was these just little turrets, right? But I have no idea. I mean, are they observatories? I don't know. And then this one was just a bunch of arrows flying at him. So
I'm glad I'm not making this one.
Yeah.
I agreed, 100%.
I am all over the board.
It was a hard word.
I think I know who's not it. That's about it.
Yeah.
It's like one person.
Here's the thing, though. Those are my 2 best cards for the word, ironically. I don't... Here, that's my card. Terrible. That's my card. Terrible. Terrible.
I didn't have much better, Dave.
That maybe if I went with that helmet, but these are my 2 best cards for that word. So if I'd seen the word, I would have probably... Well, I would maybe have done this one with the hat. But anyway,
Right.
who's got me? You got me? Everybody got me. Nice.
I think because you
I
started talking about night like N-I-G-H-T
Yeah.
instead of K-N-I.
Right,
Yeah.
because I didn't have anything else.
Yeah.
That was what I was
I wasn't
going
sure.
for the stretch.
I wasn't sure if you knew the word and you didn't have anything. So you're
No,
like,
I was
I'm trying
going
to
for
use,
this.
like, a
I was
different-
going for the flight, stretch thing, but it just didn't work. If this guy had been in like armor, I would have been okay. Or something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nah. Did you pull it out at the end, or did Nick win?
I think Nick. won
Nick really won.
Oh yeah.
by a lot.
All right. What'd you think?
So like I said earlier, I normally don't really care for games like this because I think it's like an artistic sort of view, and I'm a little bit more like mathematical, not artistic. So I normally don't like games like this. But of all the ones I've played, I think I prefer this one because it felt like it was this. I don't know, this is kind of silly, but it didn't feel like the stakes were like as high. In like Mysterium or Dixit or that kind of thing, I feel like there's just a lot of pressure to like get it right, and if you don't get it right, then like you're it's like bad for everybody.
Yeah.
So this one was just kind of like, well, if I get it right, I get some points, and if not a big deal. And honestly, the points didn't feel like they were really that important. So it was like, well, I'll just play the best cards I can, and so I feel like there wasn't as much pressure in this as there are in some other similar games. And so I enjoyed it more because of that, I think.
Yeah.
So
Okay, Nick.
I don't know. I'm not really a fan of this one because I feel like it's all over the place with trying to take from a bunch of other games, Dixit, Mysterium, but I think the themes are a little like you're trying to be a detective, and I get the cards trying to decipher them, but I think they're maybe a little too artsy for a detective type game.
Interesting. What about you, Nikki?
I liked the cards. I thought the cards were nice, well done, brighter than a lot of those kinds of games. One thing you did say where the stakes weren't so high, I totally agree with that. It's each round, you're done, you get your points, whatever, it adds up. The other ones kind of build on each other, and this one just felt like you do your thing, and then you do your thing, and then you do your thing. So as far as that goes, that was pleasant because
Right.
it wasn't. So it brought it into a lighter game kind of realm instead of a heavier game. So the idea of the pads of paper and passing them around, I liked. Another way to make it more of a lighter game, and whatever you chose. I, funnily enough, was never picked one without the word on it, so I can't really speak to
Right.
how you fake it if you don't know the word.
It can
and
be really hard.
How that
Yeah.
difficult that is. So
What'd you think, Link?
It's cool. I mean, I'm 50-50 on these games. Obscurio is interesting too, but there's always, for me, just something not quite right. I think Mysterium pulls it off the best, and Dixit's pretty close to that one. But this is cool. There's fun stuff, but it's really hard being the guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't see the fun in that. For me, it's very difficult to fake it, especially literally the one where I was after Nikki. I'm like, well, what am I going to say here, right? I
Right.
can't draw anything in on this.
Right. That was my last round. It's especially tough when you're first to go.
Absolutely.
yeah,
But even then, I mean, even
But I
when
got lucky with my first card, right?
I had
Yeah,
only
no, I
like
saw the night.
3 out of the first 5. I think I
Yeah.
was the guy, and my stories weren't any better when I did know the word, right? You know, I mean, it's like that's the thing that makes these kind of frustrating for me. I'm not. I mean, I like Mysterium. I mean, this is the same designer, one of the designers that did Mysterium. I like that usage of it the most so far. But this has a lot going for it. There's some really fun stuff. It's fun to see people flounder, right? But again, I was always floundering every time. I don't feel I ever had like, well, I mean, you voted for me because you had to, you know, it was you.
Because
right?
I was
But I mean, that was weak, right? But and I knew it was, but I'm like, well, whatever. It's what I got.
I believe it or not, I voted, even though I knew I was probably dead in the water. One of the reasons I voted for you was I felt like voting for either Sarah or Nikki would seem ultra suspicious. Nikki was the only one who seemed like nailed it.
Yeah, well, this card was great.
Yeah,
and I was hopeful this is kind of castle.
And I don't know if this was intentional, but night is a great word because I did not know how that was spelled, right?
Yeah.
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 I thought about that as it was going down there. People could take it 2 different ways.
Yeah.
And then when I started explaining it, maybe, you know, but also...
But in a weird way, I picked arguably my 2 best cards.
Yeah, no,
and I still couldn't make it work. That's the funny thing.
So I feel like when you're trying to make the word, you're trying to get points because you're trying to have people not pick the person that didn't get the word. And so you're trying to muddy the waters as much as you can. And so you got to think of creative ways of doing that, which I like in this game. It makes you try to be creative as the person, but also when you're not the person and during the game when you're the person so many times.
Right.
It's more stress on you because if you're the one figuring it out, like, okay, I figured out it was him or it was her, it's fulfilling. And it's almost like the points didn't even matter. It was like, okay, I rather took more away from actually getting it right.
Right.
Than actually getting victory
So
points.
one of the problems for me as far as there's no encouragement to look at the card. If you know the word,
Yeah.
so like when I was saying earlier that I could not see the card, I couldn't see what was going on in that card.
Right.
I can't even fake it because I can't even see it. Like, what's happening in this card?
Right.
Like, is that a ribbon? Oh no, it's a shoelace, but I couldn't tell.
Right.
It was, had she led with something that was clear with the boot, then maybe, right? I don't know.
Right.
She's trying to help me, I guess, right? But I couldn't see it there. And it's just like Spyfall. You can't look at anything, right?
Yeah.
Because if you look, you're it, right? Period. And it's hard. Like, how do I do that? What do I do to get the best?
Right.
So that, and again, I was first, so there is no improvising based on other people's improvising, and I was terrible even when like I said, I knew the word. It's hard to do these things.
Yeah.
And I have friends that love the deduction stuff, and I see some of that I can understand some of that here, but it doesn't. I'm kind of like with you in the sense that it doesn't really feel like a detective club, right? I mean, it's an abstract approach to what they're trying to do with it story-wise, but that's fine. I mean, every game is an abstraction. It's funny to me that people have a problem with it, but it's cool.
This falls into a camp. It's going to maybe sound like a weird comparison, but this falls into a camp for me of like a lot of really cool like dexterity games, like Bombaleo or Hamster Roll to a certain extent. Or there are all these fantastic games where they build this fantastic little device and you have this thing that balances or whatever, but there's no game. And you just have to sort of go in and go, okay, there's kind of no real game here. Like there's a scoring system and whatever.
I think that's why I didn't feel like the points really mattered.
Yeah.
You know?
Right, but you have to feel that way. You have to feel like the points don't matter in order to sort of shed that and go, okay, now I'm just doing this. But there is a scoring system, and it's sort of a frustrating one because it seems like it works against what's fun in the game, right?
Sure.
The idea...
You want to bluff. To be able to bluff in this game, and you are, but it's very difficult to bluff.
Not only that, but if you're the active player and you care, and luckily I don't think any of us really did, we were just having fun and playing it, but if you're the active player and you care, you want your word to be the most generic word that covers every card in everybody's hand, because that's how you'll score. You'll score if everyone else can't figure out who the liar is.
Right.
And that's no fun, because what you really want to do is you want to pick a cool word that like matches 2 of your cards and maybe can smoke somebody out. Like the whole fun of smoking somebody out is lost when you have the control of doing that.
Right.
So it kind of works against what's going on in the game.
I think it was kind of meta. There was like some meta game going on where like, okay, well, just ignore everything that's happening here. If I can just watch your face or listen to what you say.
Oh, I never did
and
that.
then
Well, again, I was terrible. I
do
mean,
too.
every time it should have been on me. I literally was. I really didn't have.
At one point, I looked at the word and I laughed at it, and I went, "Oh, well, that was dumb." I just laughed at the word because I liked the word, and I thought, "Well,
But that's,
talk about a
that's
giveaway."
some of that meta thing, because
Right.
then if you give away those little clues, or if you plant those little clues,
Or do them on
then-
purpose.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's a whole. To me, if you're doing that, you're playing this at a whole different level than what I think the designers want the game to be played.
Possibly.
But then
Right.
I also feel like sometimes and we talk about the artwork a little bit because it's artistic, but also sometimes there's so much detail in each one.
Oh, and
because
this
we came
one
up
here.
with
I
this
know.
one right here.
Right.
You brought up Lincoln that we all didn't notice that face
Yeah, right.
until you told us. And we're like,
Right. I
oh.
didn't. It would have been a good one for beauty, right?
Yeah.
It's totally there.
But wasn't that one of the descriptive
It was
words? 'Cause
in
you
my
were-
hand
Yeah.
when that was, and I had beauty. I knew the word, and I didn't see it. Like, you really have to spend a little time every time looking at the cards.
Yeah.
I feel, for this to be fair, is that you get the word, everybody looks at the card.
Right.
Passes it around, looks at it, puts it in the middle. I mean, because you can't, if you know the word,
Right.
it's like, okay, well, I don't care what's on this card. I'm just going to do my best interpretation of beauty. But when you don't know the word,
Right.
you have to have a leg up to be able to pull it off. I mean, if you're fifth in this game or fourth in this
Yeah.
game explaining your cards, you got a shot.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you're first, you don't.
If you're first, it's
Yeah.
tough because the first time you hear the word is when that person's. That's the first time I heard the word night, right?
Yeah.
Was when he said it, and it was like, okay, well, this is night. How can I make this night?
Well, and then on the round where it was creepy versus spooky,
Yeah.
I didn't pay enough attention to what people were saying. I just grabbed for okay, they're talking about things that are creepy,
Right.
So that's and then I gave myself away because I wasn't paying enough attention.
Well, again, I would have picked you for the cards anyway, but I noticed it was funny that you said creepy all of a sudden instead of spooky. Maybe this game, I don't know, maybe with 8 players, if you have more cards that you can look at and more times to go around, because even if you're first with 8 players and you play your first card and you're not quite sure if you've got it right, you still get to see a lot of cards
Yeah.
before your next round. That might help you out.
I do like that they're trying to make things with these type of systems. I mean, it's neat. It's exciting to see different stuff. Scott really likes this game.
Yeah.
He said it's a lot of fun, and it is fun. It's just hard.
Yeah.
And being burdened with that 3 times early on was not fun.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, this is just awful. I mean, I had some cards I was dying to play the whole game. I mean, I could never. And this is the one I got that I thought would have been spooky. Look at that. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, that's
but look what's
great.
going on with that shadow.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, wow, I wish I had that one for the spooky one.
Yeah.
I did my best.
I was wondering if there was a way to cycle cards through your hand, if you
Yeah.
could discard a card. Or
Well,
something,
Nikki
'cause
just threw her 4 out. That
Yeah,
was.
I did.
I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I'd done that.
I had this one from the beginning of the game, and every turn I was like, this doesn't fit. So maybe if there was a way to get more cards into
Well, you
your
can
hand,
play it on your turn.
Yeah, that's true.
When you're writing the word down,
That's
you can just
true.
get rid of it.
Yeah, that's true, I suppose.
But I mean, I was going to use that one for flight. It looks like Dumbo. Kind
Yeah,
of,
I like
right?
it.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's too. They're going to pick me. I mean, I'm bad, right? And then this one, I just liked it because it's like there's a guitar in there,
Oh, that's
and it's like all
fantastic.
kinds of stuff going on. But I'm like, where do I?
The cards feel like they
there's
have
the
enough
guitar.
stuff going on that you could almost make most cards
Yeah.
work for something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even though you didn't like this card, I mean,
That's a great card, though.
yeah, there's something you could do with it.
Well, I was trying to complete drama with something. So
Well,
I
the
was
funny
okay,
thing
if
is when
if
you
I
did
can do
Night-
drama, or
I mean, that could be beauty. That could be
When
a
you
mask.
did Night, I was surprised that didn't go first. I was like, because I was like, it's Dave. And
Yeah.
so then I'm sitting there,
Yeah,
well,
it's
I don't know,
totally
she's
me.
really, this is a stretch. I would have led with that one, right?
Was it night with an N or a K?
It was a K.
K.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I didn't know, right?
He did that to you on purpose.
No, I don't think he did.
No, he didn't.
It doesn't, in a weird way, it doesn't help him to do that.
No,
right?
of course not.
But
He
it
wants
should.
Yeah.
Like, I think that kind of thing. I wish the game rewarded that in some way because that would make it fun to be the active player.
Well, thanks for teaching us, Dave.
You're welcome, Lincoln, and thank you for watching Game Night. Have you subscribed to Board Game Geek or liked us at the very least? If not, consider doing that, will you? And if you do subscribe, there's a little bell, and you click it, and you get notifications. But you know what? I bet you knew that already.